Well, we know a lot more about COVID-19 than we did a few months ago. We'll be talking to our leading national expert next on The Jeff Crilley Show.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is The Jeff Crilley Show. Well, COVID-19 is still kind of a mysterious disease. We don't know everything that we need to know about it, but one thing is clear: those people with a hardy immune system are able to fight this thing off and often don't end up in those hospitalized situations that you see on TV. To talk about that, Dr. John Roland, he's a functional medicine physician here in Dallas. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's take people through this. And one of the things that you said to me is an overcast day like this, which is typical in the wintertime, is not good for our immune system because of the vitamin D we get from the sun.
Very good. Yes, that is correct. Vitamin D and the tie-in with the immune system, we've been learning more about. We know, for example, that as we go into northern states, the risk of MS is higher. But the risk of getting diseases like flu and COVID becomes higher when we have reduced levels of vitamin D as well. So the risk goes up during the winter.
And you're big on fortifying that immune system year-round. Just put COVID-19 aside, just the common flu, the common cold. I mean, a hardy immune system is your best defense.
Functional medicine really looks at all of that and all of the reasons why we get sick, and not just from viruses, but from deterioration like arthritis and whatnot. And the fact is that the immune system is tied up in all of that, including vitamin D.
I think one of the fascinating things, I mean, your body is like a drugstore that can dispense drugs. Dopamine makes you happy. You have other hormones that make you anxious. But it seems like during a pandemic, we're doing the worst possible things. We're overeating. We're drinking too much.
Yes.
We're not getting enough sleep. And that anxiety is really wearing down our immune system at a time when we should be strengthening it.
Absolutely, and trying to find ways to interact with people, certainly calling, but connecting through podcast and ways through your computer is very important, so that, you get that sense of community, of family.
Absolutely. And you are interviewed quite a bit. We've got a clip that we're going to roll. I want you to tell people about this American Academy. Tell me about this interview. And you, in this one, you addressed COVID-19.
Well, as you know, I also work as an emergency room physician, and I've been seeing firsthand the trouble and the labor and the difficulty, tremendous volume of work that these hospitals are having to do. And we're starting to recognize that we have ways of intervening with this, like vitamins and other, to really intervene and reduce that burden on the body. So just vitamin D, and there are other recommendations too, reduces mortality by as much as 30%.
Wow. Well, we were talking before the show started about just common sense vitamins, a good multivitamin.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about vitamin D. What are some others that you would put in there?
So vitamin C, certainly, all of the work with that in the immune system. Most people understand that vitamin C is very important for the immune system. So 3 to 5 grams we typically have people take during the winter, or trying to prevent the infection with COVID. And also zinc. So we've known for zinc has been beneficial for like herpes viruses and things like that. It's also very beneficial for COVID too.
I know one of the things that you're into is these IV vitamins, and we're going to show something off of your website to illustrate this. Tell me exactly how that works.
Well, the fact is that your body has only certain abilities to absorb vitamins, and in some people you have sick intestinal walls that really won't allow you to absorb what it is that you need. So by giving it IV, we certainly can give it at much higher doses, and most people have heard of high-dose vitamin C, let's say. Most people have heard about a Myers cocktail, which is really replete with B vitamins. And so we can fit those needs with certain kinds of vitamins. And if somebody is sick, we certainly can help to fortify the immune system by giving IV vitamins in high doses.
Is it just a visit to your clinic, or does it take a few minutes to go through an IV drip?
Yeah, typically about an hour is what it requires. Yes, you're sitting there and you're watching TV or on your phone, a little soft music, and you're getting your IV. You're being tended to by my nurse, and you get what you need.
How quickly does it act in your body after an IV?
You will notice, particularly if you're deplete in certain vitamins, you'll notice that day and over the next several days that your immune system is boosted, that you're feeling better.
Yes.
A lot of people have a depletion of B12, and they get a B12 shot and they feel better. That often reflects actually a gene problem that causes you to need more B12 and folate. And people get the B12, they often don't get the folate. So if you get a response to B12, you need continual supplements of B12 and folate.
There's been a lot of misinformation since the beginning of the pandemic. I mean, at one point, Dr. Fauci was saying nobody needs to wear masks, and now we're all wearing masks.
Yes.
What are some myths that we can bust right now about COVID-19?
Well, what I really wanted to come and tell you about is that if you have it or if you get exposed, there's starting to be particular treatments that may be of benefit. Certainly, taking vitamins is important. There are starting to be some other medications that can be used. For instance, during the second phase of the infection, when you really start getting inflammation, that's the killer. If we intervene with high doses of steroids, we can often offset that. So continual visits with your doctor, letting him know what's going on and how you're doing during the infection is important. There's starting to be some effects, some benefits of using some medicines to try to stop the spread. So we're finding mechanisms that actually shut down the virus, and this is being researched and used internationally, and is coming to be known here as well. And I'm really referring to medicines like ivermectin. It is not FDA approved. A group of doctors have requested that, but this medicine, within 48 hours, is able to reduce replications more than 90%.
Wow.
So we're not exactly sure what that means in regard to infectivity or what happens when a patient gets sick, but we're starting to see that, in fact, it may be very beneficial in reducing that infection in those individuals and in helping to prevent the spread. And it may also be effective in helping not to get it. Let's say if your wife got it, or if you have elderly people in your household that has COVID, maybe giving this medicine might help them not get it.
Outstanding. We've got about 2 minutes left. So final thoughts. What would you like to leave people with? I know we're coming up on New Year's, and a lot of people are making resolutions to get healthy.
Yes. So this is, we are at an optimistic point. We have the vaccine coming out. I got mine 2 days ago, by the way.
Awesome.
And so we're having some interventions, but also the use of these medicines is providing another tool to be able to use to help stop the spread within your homes and maybe to reduce the severity of the infection in those that get it.
Wow, outstanding. We're going to put your website up so everybody can get in touch. It's evolutionmedicinedallas.com. Dr. John Roland, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff.
You bet. And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.